right, hello, we're back. It's a different, I put on a lot of different songs, so I decided.
Welcome
Welcome
back
back.
to the only NBA podcast that spends more time on its intro than actually researching its topic for the day.
Yeah, pretty much. We don't have much in terms of a set topic, but we're both off today, so why
Mhm.
not actually do something? Although I guess I am less happy on my off days than I thought I would be. So maybe that mood will come in.
I think that's just a symptom of being an American.
Yeah, it might be a symptom of something. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. Both off and why not talk NBA? I want to talk Rockets because I felt like I was being driven slightly insane by Bill Simmons this morning, which is a very usual thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, is
Um,
it a day ending in Y?
Yeah, I don't know how often I listen to Simmons even, but I did today. I started listening to Simmons again during the Kimmel firing because he had one of the funniest opening monologues where he was like, "Well, Colbert, that was fine, but once they took out Jimmy Kimmel, it was bad." Like, okay, Bill.
What?
Well, Bill is friends with Jimmy Kimmel, so when Colbert went down, he was like, "Oh, this just makes sense financially." But then when Kimmel went down, it was a attack on free speech. Like, okay,
I see.
yeah, he's a crazy person. But he was also talking about the Fred VanVleet injury, which I figured we would open up with, um, because we haven't really talked about it. Because there's a lot of talk about this is dismantling the Rockets from NBA Finals, like sort of contending favorite to way outside. And by odds, they have gone under the Lakers, which is insane to me.
Yeah, I don't buy that they're worse than the Lakers even losing. I mean, losing FVV sucks for them, but like I think the biggest problem is nobody knows who's going to play point for them, and they should
Right.
probably just have Amen Thompson run the point. I don't know. That's what he did when he was in the fake high school league before he was in the draft. He can pro he Yeah, but now it's kind of funny that they've gone from like good guard depth to not having good guard depth. And I'll also point out Cam Whitmore is not on their team anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't
This
know what
is a
this
bad
what this
website.
what this website is.
It has a bet code on the bottom right, so you know it's a
You know it's
pretty good
quality.
website. I do also
Um
have their guys up here. My thing with the Rockets is I always thought Fred VanVleet was gonna, if this team was good, was gonna see less and less time as the year went on.
Um,
I
mm,
I was all the way out on Fred Van. I think I mentioned it a few
yeah,
shows,
he had like
honestly.
a really bad beginning to last season to the point where I think uh I don't know it was the Rockets subreddit or the basketball subreddit, but he was being referred to as a literal terrorist, which you
Yeah.
don't want. Yeah, I mean he had a bad season by his standards. He only played 60 games, which I think was his fewest since the weird COVID season. 14 points per game, which is his lowest since 2018, which is his third year in the league. I mean, he wasn't even a starter at that point. Um, yeah, I mean, sub 500 EFG. I mean, he just like he's always been weird. Like sometimes he alternates like good season and bad seasons. He's got kind of the Aaron Nola of basketball thing going.
Okay. Yeah.
But he was still a positive BPM VORP player. I think it just he had such a bad first half that by the time he got back to being like decent, it tanked his season. And but this is still he's still a guy who I think has been an above average player for like 3 years running, so he deserves some of the benefit of the doubt. But at this point, he's not going to be back until 2026.
Halfway to next year,
Yeah, and you don't, and
like maybe,
he's already
maybe.
31. You don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back.
I think his
Um,
career is over.
I mean, that's a little extreme. It's not like like if it was an Achilles, I'd be a little bit more worried. But if last year on the whole was a sign of terminal decline as opposed to sort of a blippy, not the pervert child television star, but a blip on the
Blippi.
radar. If it was the start of a
Blippi the
terminal
dog.
decline, he's in a lot of trouble. And just in time for Houston to have given him, what was his extension? Was it three
I don't know. I'm
100?
still laughing at Blippi instead of Bluey.
Did you get Bluey and Blue? Because you don't have
You said
kids.
Blippi.
Yeah, you know what Blippi is, right? Or who he is?
You said Blippi Bluey?
No, Bluey is the
There are
Australian
two
dog.
different
Blippi,
ones? Who the
yeah,
hell's Blippi?
Blippi is this like YouTube guy who
Oh,
like
this
has a really
sucks.
annoying this guy. You
This
aren't familiar with this guy?
sucks. No, this is our thumbnail too.
And also the fact that like before he did this, he was a gross out comedian who
This
like would
sucks
like poop
so
on
bad.
people, but then he transitioned to quote unquote kids
Oh
entertainment
no.
because
There are
that's
really
you need
bad
even
things being posted here.
less talent to do that. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, Blippi's a demon. He sucks.
Podcaster discovers Blippi.
Yeah, the kids you teach are probably
This
too
is
old to ever bring this up.
Did you ever
But
see I think I tried to show you like the kind of fake Pat Bev video. I'm guessing clearly fake, where he discovers the Carl Malone crimes.
yeah, that's
Clearly staged to me, by the way. I think if you don't think that's staged, you need to,
okay, so
I don't know,
Pat,
you need to
yeah.
get on the level.
Yeah, Fred
Um,
VanVleet. So he has a player, he was 25 million this year and then a player
25
option.
and next year, I believe, which he will be in.
Yeah, I mean there's a decent chance. I mean, he'll play next year, but there's a decent chance like he's not going to sign another contract with the Rockets.
No, I think like a sixth man for the Brooklyn Nets is his future.
Yeah. You didn't
I guess I'm
respond.
a hater on
You are a
him.
little bit of an FVV hater, and I always
He
felt he was
did
a
burn me in
little,
fantasy last year, which
well,
is
yeah.
usually the lore of this stuff, but
Yeah. I
I
always
just don't
felt
think
he was
he's
a
great.
little underrated and kind of like a middle class man's version of Jalen Brunson, small guard coming
Yeah.
from and I think I can't remember if Brunson was drafted. I know FEV was not drafted out of Wichita
Brunson was
State
drafted. I'm almost positive.
and just turning himself into a legitimate I don't know if he really deserved his
He was a
all-star
second rounder
appearance,
then,
but
Brunson.
yeah, legitimate NBA starter. But I do think he may, and he did win a title with the Raptors. But I do think he may be cooked. So,
No, it's no
it's
hate on like Brunson, who he was. I mean, Van Vliet. But go ahead,
yeah.
finish up. I didn't know you were going.
No, I mean, just my point is, it's yeah, I don't know. We were talking about this is the NBA's Tommy John era. Like so many guys are getting hurt, and a ton of guys are getting hurt in off-season workouts, which I do not. I think, are there the injury discourse is always kind of a thing of like, is it just a perception bias? Is there actual numbers behind it? Is it just a one-off coincidence? But I genuinely do not remember any time in the past with so many guys suffering workout injuries. I'm trying to think who else has been hurt just doing workouts.
Um, Could have
There's
sworn
been
the
a
Celtics
bunch.
had a fairly major player get a workout injury in the last decade. I don't know who though.
Yeah, let's see
Um,
here.
you can look that up. I'll say I just think the NBA is entering its baseball era. Like I think the NBA is baseball in the 2010s. I think they have so many of the same problems from the future labor disputes that I kind of think will come up more. And I
Yeah,
did want to say the Fred VanVleet stuff is this injury would be seen as a good thing for the Rockets if this were the NFL
I
and
know.
these contracts weren't
That's what's
guaranteed.
so
They
perverted
would
about
love
it.
it. And owners, like you think Fortuna, or what's the guy's name in Houston who is annoying? Thought it was
Oh,
Fortuna.
Furman Tillman Fertitta or whatever it is.
Yeah, I've
Tillman
got
Tillman
Bib
Fertitta.
Fortuna from the Star Wars.
Bib
Hold on, I'll
Fortuna.
pull him up.
Maybe that
Uh,
needs to be our clickbait thumbnail is Bib
yeah, I've
Fortuna
got
purchases the
this
Rockets.
guy is the Rockets
That guy
manager to
does
me.
look that if aliens existed, this guy would own an NBA team. He just looks like it. He would be hanging out in the locker room saying slurs like Robert Sarver, and everybody would be really
I mean, is
uncomfortable.
there much of a difference between
Oh,
these
I don't think I
two
realized what
people?
I always thought Tillman Fertitta was even weirder looking than that.
He's the ambassador to Italy, which I think Italy is kind of fascist now, so he probably fits right
When you
in.
say now, like, are we
Right,
going
when I
back to
say
like
now.
1835 or um
Yeah.
anyway, workout injuries that I know of. There was Max Struss on the Cavs who got a Jones fracture in his foot. So he's going to miss 4 months. That was back in August. Um, Derek Lively was already hurt. Um,
Didn't Cleveland have another like re-injury
Bojanovic
are a big
suffered a
thing.
ruptured hamstring, but that was during Eurobasket. So I mean, that was an actual game.
You watched Eurobasket a
I
little,
watched
right?
some of it. Oh yeah, Tyler Hero, he needed ankle surgery, which sort
I
of
thought it
like
was a Heat player too.
came
I
out of
should have said it.
nowhere. Um,
No, the injuries
Derek
are
Derek
going
Queen
around
Derek
badly.
Queen had some sort of wrist injury. They don't know, after the Pelicans blew their future draft trading up for him, they don't know when he's going to be back. Oh, Thomas Sorbor, who was one of my draft guys, suffered a torn ACL in a workout, so he's probably cooked because he's already have a history of leg injuries and he's a big. Da, 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 do.
I
Oh,
just to kind of wrap it up anyway with
the
the
list,
injury
man.
thing. I
Oh yeah,
do
Dylan
think
Harper got surgery on his thumb. It does seem like it's mostly the young guys too, which is interesting. I don't know what that. Oh yeah,
well,
and Bilal
it's
Coulibaly
because they
too.
just banned off-season scouting for what, high school? I was trying to find the article,
I'm sorry, what was
but
this? I
yeah,
missed
the
that.
NBA,
Banned high
uh,
school
I don't
scouting?
know. I thought this was a more common story. Now I have to look it up live.
Yeah, this doesn't
Yeah,
ring
they
any
did. They
bells.
banned off-season scouting for something. It's they're worried about overuse injuries.
Well, I think that's
They're taking it
reasonable. I
serious.
don't
No, they're
understand.
correct.
But like if they're banning off-season scouting, like I assume they mean team scouting, right?
Yes,
This
teams
is
can't
that's
scout.
not going to
Won't it not
make
fix anything?
Yeah, that's not going to make the AAU teams not play because now the teams are just going to get reports from amateur scouting and they're going to do worse at drafting somehow. Um, and by amateur I mean like 247 or whatever the
It's
hell it's
also very
called.
decent chance I'm just confusing it with the MLB,
It's also
which, if
possible.
that's the case, hey, hand up, but also they have the same exact issues.
Yeah, I mean this
Is
is
I'm gonna
if this
double
is a
down on getting this story wrong and say even though this was an MLB thing, it's the same thing
Yeah, if this is a real
because
thing, like this is just banning plastic straws or whatever, like you are not addressing the underlying issue, which I'm just going to say is capitalism. Capitalism is the
yeah,
problem.
and it probably won't be fixed ever for the
No,
NBA
no.
unless, as you say, they just go down to 62 games.
Yes. And
Um,
unfortunately, I don't think I can say my strategy for that on
no,
a
you
public
can't.
forum because I will be
Um,
on a watch list. But all I'm saying is Bib Fortuna better watch his ass.
yeah, Bib
Because
Fortuna
I'm
gets
just saying
cut in the sixth
all I'm
movie.
gonna say is that man is like all neck, and we have seen the impact of that in
It's
recent
possible Bib Fortuna
discourse.
actually survived Return of the Jedi because
Actually, what
that
the
looks like a
hell is
different
that
one.
thing? Is that his neck? What he has like a
Yeah,
tentacle.
he's
He
a
has like a head tickle.
Twi'lek, but I guess he's sick or something in this.
A
I
Twi'lek.
don't.
Oh,
He also
isn't the
might not be a
Twi'lek like
Twi'lek.
the hot dancing girl who gets eaten in
Yeah.
Star Wars? How much of like well, not even science fiction movies, just entertainment in general is like weird dudes indulging their unspoken fetishes.
72%, I'll
Yeah.
put roughly.
And then I feel like the other 28% is weird dudes indulging their spoken fetishes.
It's 27%, then 1% is Tony Gilroy just creating
30%, 1% is Tony
masterpieces.
Gilroy.
He
Yeah.
was he was the outlier. And Dan
It's true.
Gilroy.
So do we have an actual like plan for the next 20 minutes or are we just freestyling?
We are kind of freestyling. I did want to talk a little bit about our matrix for when we do our team rankings going into the year because we have to start that next episode. And these are preseason. These are tune-up podcasts. If anyone's listening to this, which I always assume no one is. These pods are like a mental breakdown simulator for me
Mental breakdown.
personally.
Yeah, wait. We have like Truck Driver Simulator and Lawnmower Simulator. When are we? And millennials seem to love those games. When are we getting Mental Breakdown Simulator? Feel like that's high
We might
time.
be living in it. I
Ah,
mean,
fair
I'm pretty
enough.
big on all the fake reality stuff, so
Oh,
we might
does
be.
this mean I need to revive my old podcast about 4chan conspiracies?
No, because I
No.
never understand them.
What do you mean there's nothing to understand? We're talking about Charles Manson. It's not that hard to understand.
I don't really even remember who Charles Manson is, but that doesn't
You have to
matter.
be kidding me.
I'm a little kidding, but
Charles
still, I
Manson was
don't
a
know
bucket and a
many
problem,
details.
okay? He was the original
Wh-
Jalen Brunson because he was like 5'7", but he was a killer.
Well, oh wait, now I've messed up
But he
Brunson
couldn't
and
but he
Fred
couldn't
Van
play
Vliet,
he couldn't play defense.
and he
So
couldn't win the big one.
this is true. He
Um,
really couldn't.
Although maybe I'll become a Knicks believer. Here's how I want to rank teams this year, and I don't
Okay.
know if we stick with it, but this is actually more for my use this year. Is I wanted to still rank how good they were on kind of the
The
x-axis
the
here
nice
from nice
trash
to trash.
axis.
But I
Okay.
also really wanted to rank how watchable we think they're going to be
Mm.
because I do think that has absolutely nothing to do with how good the team is.
There is
Like,
some truth to that. Yeah.
I
So
think
this
it has
is
almost nothing. I think we'll see a general trend like here, but that's why I created so many little box
little
areas to
squares.
make it on, because I don't think it has too much to do with it. And I want to say that the Rockets I find interesting because even though they got worse, I really do think I'm way more interested in them now because of that question of who's handling ball handling duties.
Hmm.
And the Rockets are kind of, and I know this depth chart isn't all there, but Sengun, Euro League, he was looking good. Did I watch any of it? Eurobasket? No, of course not. But people report that all the stuff I've said about Sengun, like running the half court, just kind of being a young Jokic, which is a very lazy comparison, sure.
Yeah,
But
it
you
is.
know what? You know what? It's the one we've got. And
This is also true. I don't know who else you'd compare him to.
he he's a big man who can pass the ball a little, can make plays. I think he is going to, I was going to say rocket up. That's really annoying,
Oh,
but
that's
I
so
didn't mean
bad.
to, though, so I'll say it. I think he's going to jump up the rankings of where we list players, the famous Ringer 100 that we hate, but also kind of use. Um, we predicted that. Amen Thompson, this is the shot. If we really believe in him being an all-star level player, which I have, he takes this opportunity and runs with it, starts being more creative.
Mhm.
Reed Shepard,
I don't think
I,
Reed Shepard is anything, but I'm willing to be proved wrong.
I don't know. I can't.
His position is null point guard. He
Well, yeah, he
exists. He
wasn't
handles the
around
rock
last
in the
year.
void.
Null guard.
Null
Um,
guard.
Look, he's 21. I don't know. He has to take the leap of leaps for this team to
Yeah.
probably be a finals contender, which they probably aren't, but I also don't think they were with Fred VanVleet. And then Durant's totally capable of like leading the offense
Ball
still.
handing.
Like
Yeah.
ball handling, playmaking, whatever. It just makes them a worse regular season team to me.
Right. I mean,
I
the
I
other
know
thing
the
is like,
complaint people have had is you need Van Fleet to push the offense in the playoffs when the Thunder lock down with how much guard skill they have. I'm not gonna say like, yeah, sure, it's a fine argument. Maybe it's even correct. I'm just gonna go against it this year. I'm kind of staking my position on it, but my position of weekly YouTube show Yeller is staked on this.
Yeah, we are. So you're saying you believe in the Rockets still?
I almost believe in them more without Van Vliet is really the awful take I have. I get no one is going to think that makes any sense, but I do. Just because I think Van Vliet was going to get worse and worse anyway.
Okay, so your take is
It's
addition by subtraction.
My take is that they needed to figure this out anyway, and maybe this forces them in to not believing in fool's gold, which is what I
Yeah,
think Van Vliet in the playoffs against OKC was.
you probably are correct because he is a small guard and he does have some of the same problems Brunson has. But yeah, I mean, they're also in like a weird spot because it's like now Kevin Durant's health becomes a huge question. And it's like, okay, is he going to miss 20 games in November or is he going to miss
Mhm.
20 games in April? Because when the injury happens, and it is a when, really sort of determines the outcome for their team. Yeah, Durant. I mean, Durant did play 75 games 2 seasons ago, but that is literally the only time he has done so since COVID. Um,
Yeah,
well, I mean, since the Achilles tear. I mean, because the Achilles, he played 78 games the season he had the Achilles tear, and he's played 35, 55, 47, 75, 62 since. I mean, if he's playing 62 games for the Rockets and he's healthy going into the playoffs, they're probably still a contender. Um,
I
if
agree.
he's getting his calf strain or his hammy pull or whatever, you know, March 30th, they're in some trouble. Because they really do need him, as you say, I think, to do more ball handling than they expected, on top of giving them basically the only guy in their lineup who can consistently shoot a three. Um, yeah, I don't know. I go back to the keynote slop chart for a sec. I mean, we got to figure out where to
Yes, yes, I
place them because
will.
I
We
think that's the
do.
plan.
It is the plan to
Um,
start.
I mean, I think they're somewhere in the upper left for me, but like
Yeah, they
not
are.
that far.
I
I
think they're
will
one of our most
reserve.
watchable teams. I would like to
That's
put them
true. I
high.
think we consider them more watchable than
I
other
borderline would put
people.
them right towards the top.
That's fair because
I
I love how
I want
Amen
to watch
Thompson
Amen
plays.
Thompson this
Yeah.
year.
And
He
I
is
like
third for
how
Depoy.
and I love how Sengun plays and um
I'm interested
they
in
they
how
got
KD plays.
I'm interested in KD. I like watching teams play sort of dickhead defense, which they do. And they got rid of Dylan Brooks, who
That
it's a
helps.
huge vibe improvement. As I texted you the other day, I think Dylan Brooks needs to be a Charlotte Hornet. There are bad vibes containment team. But they
Fair,
did lose
yeah.
Jalen Green, who like I don't think he was good, but he was entertaining. He's definitely, as Adam Silver puts it, this is a highlights league, and you could easily trick yourself into believing Jalen Green was a good player based off of his highlights.
Are we gonna do an Adam Silver checkup segment
We're gonna
at
need to
some
do
point?
oh shoot, hang on.
What's it
Uh,
called when you like call to have someone check if someone's doing okay? That's
a wellness check. Can you vamp for a second? My kid's school
Yeah,
is
I
calling me.
absolutely can. I will while Seth is being called by school, this is the Adam Silver wellness check corner. And Adam Silver, what has Adam Silver done lately? There was the highlights clip where he says the NBA is a highlights league. Sure. Essentially just pushing people further and further away from watching the game. And all of that is also a part of his current media rights thing, where the media rights are just being split up as much as possible. So I don't know. What are we on now? Amazon has them, ESPN has them. There's some talk about packaging everything into one for baseball, but I think that's less and less what the NBA wants to do. I think the NBA just wants to split them up as much as possible. And, viewer be damned in terms of someone who follows all 30 teams. It's more about just selling the product to fill time. on these streaming services, and then the casual viewer of the NBA just watches highlights. So that's Adam Silver's plan, along with one, ruining the WNBA by denying Hartford and Boston expansion, but that's my own corner. And two, I'm not as good as vamping as Seth said I would be, but two, what was he doing that I hated recently? I guess I could go into Balmer stuff, but I don't want to. I don't know. I lost my clip on Adam Silver in the league. I guess the short point of it is that the Adam Silver wellness check is not going good. I am going to go into my gambling corner now that Seth has left me alone, to vamp. And that is where I look at the regular season MVP. And apparently they only have five people who can win it because Ant isn't. Okay, I won't say Ant isn't winning it, but Ant's not winning it. KD is laughable at plus 5,000, and I like the damn Rockets. Cade, sure. Maybe a little juice on Brunson and Mitchell there. Maybe a little on Banchero. Joel Embiid, what's up? Yeah, kind of terrible. Um, Whatever. It's just going to be Jokic this year. There's going to be enough voter fatigue on Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He'll just revert back to Jokic. He'll win his fourth. Denver will be the two seed. That's about it. In the meantime, I am placing my Rockets until Seth gets mad at me. They are plus 1,600 to win. I want to know what their actual over-under is. I wonder if Seth is ever coming back. My feeling is probably not.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that was my kid's school just letting me know that she got slapped in the face. I'm like, okay, well, she didn't do anything wrong, so tell her to hit back. What do you want from me? No,
God
that's
damn.
that's not what we, yeah. I mean, they're 4-year-olds, you know what?
Oh
This
yeah,
this
that
stuff
does
happens.
happen at that age.
She has done plenty of that stuff in the other direction. So I'm like, I thought they're gonna call to tell me that she like, I don't know, had a disease or something, or she
I
got
was gonna
bitten
say
by.
lost a tooth.
That'd be bad for a 4-year-old. One of her
4-year-olds don't
friends.
lose teeth kind of
No.
randomly.
No, they don't. That's young. But it happens. Well, it happens because they like get into scrapes. Like one of her friends from soccer is this boy with a older brother who's 7, but looks like a 13-year-old because he's like unnaturally tall. He should be learning how to hoop. I hope he is. But I guess he like lost his front tooth just like wrestling with his brother, and his parents were like, great. And
My vamp
apparently, yeah,
section was really bad, by the way.
I'm sure it was. But anyway,
I'm gonna
where did
keep
we
it in.
leave off? We
I
gotta
don't know.
keep it
I
in. We only
went
have like 8
through,
minutes.
but
Okay.
I don't cut anything for this show. That'd be far more work.
No.
Um,
That's not what
Hold
we're
on.
here for. Anyway, this
No,
show supports child violence.
I suppose so. I
We're in
mean,
favor of
Mr.
it.
Whalen's Fight Club is the joke I used to get from my.
Oh God.
Well,
You
hey,
can't joke about that because you're actually a teacher. You're gonna get in trouble.
well, there are fights
I
in my room. I stopped them.
well, yeah, that's true. You have kids who are like I don't know, scrappy is the polite
Yes,
way of putting it. They're scrappy
correct.
kids.
Much
Yeah.
like the Houston Rockets, who I was trying to figure
That's
out
true.
how
I
nice I think
was
they
thinking
are.
about Amen Thompson has probably had his parents get called that he hit a kid when he was like 4, and now he's body slamming Tyler Hero, and we all love that.
Hold
But
on,
yeah,
I messed up the
what are
thing.
you doing with their logo? Are we going to get to another team, or is this just a proof of concept episode?
It's mostly a proof of concept episode. I
Okay.
kind of wanted to put in the Thunder, though. But can I put them
Um,
here? This is
the
where I have
Rockets?
them mentally.
Maybe like a couple squares to the right. Like I am not convinced that their contendership is on solid ground post the FVV injury slash Kevin Durant's whole sort of,
I'll compromise like
existence.
right over here feels right.
That's fine. But I do think they'll be fun to watch. Like I said, I like watching teams play dickhead defense. Even without Jalen Green, I think there's a lot of scoring. A lot of dunks, and maybe they'll also add some threes this time around with Durant. But yeah, any team with Amen Thompson on it is going to be entertaining. And they have the opening night game, don't they?
They
They have
do.
one
It's
of them.
opening night, them and the Thunder.
Yeah,
Pretty
I mean,
positive.
Thunder will probably win that game. It's in OKC, but like, hey,
I
I'd
had
rather see that matchup than Warriors Lakers, which is the other late night game that I am like completely over that whole series.
I had a few things when I was vamping. I was looking just briefly at the regular season MVP.
Hmm.
Really boring.
I mean, who else do you
Like
think
it
you would?
can only be these six guys, and I don't think Ant is a serious pick.
I don't know. I would probably put $10 at Ant at 2,500 and just hope he gets off to a strong enough start that I can cash out.
I think this is one of the
Um,
most easy Jokic years
you think he's going to end up
possible.
winning his fourth MVP?
Yeah, just boring, like really good.
Too
Everyone
bad.
gets tired of Shea.
By the way,
I think it's a lock.
speaking of opening season games, one of the Spurs Mavericks is supposed to be like a marquee thing. We still don't have confirmation that Wembanyama is actually going to start the season. Is he? Because like all I've seen is just, oh well, he's
Everyone
over his
says
shoulder
vaguely
problem.
he's okay, but I don't think they've done a full announcement on the injury.
Correct.
It's
Like everyone's
just a
all I've seen is just
vague,
that he had
he's very
surgery
okay.
and it's not supposed to be a recurring thing. And then I can't, and then he's supposed to be like ready for the season, but I can't
Yeah,
find
I've heard it
anything
like
being
it's
like, oh yeah, here's
promising. He should be
here's when he's
ready.
coming back. Yeah. So this is making me increasingly insane about like, yeah, all it says is medically returned and will be ready for the upcoming 2025 season, which I guess is something he told a French newspaper in July of this year, which means nothing. I mean, first of all, it's French, so like I assume this newspaper also supports Roman Polanski.
I really enjoy
Um,
that I can't tell what's real and what's fake on the internet anymore. That I've
well,
reached
it's
that
funny you
point.
pull up the Wemby in China thing, which my understanding had something to do with like a betting website and was not real.
Yeah,
But I've also have
I'm also very much feeling not real vibes, but it
when
could
you
be
say
that he
not
shaved
real
him.
vibes, you're gonna have to be more specific.
Did Wemby shave his head and go to China?
Like, did any
Is
of that even
this
happen at all? I don't
correct?
know
That's my
anymore.
question.
It could have been an AI video. I accept that.
It's
It was
only a
like
day old.
it was like Wemby and then like a bunch of like 13 identical monks all with seven fingers on each hand doing like Tai Chi. And then there's some guy in the comments being like, America Patriot 1776, who's like, this is why we support Trump. And there's no other context for that quote, but it has 5,000 upvotes. Anyway, we're in hell. Um,
It's not great.
not great. Yeah.
We've actually had a strongly up episode, I feel like,
We're in
compared
our
to last
manic,
time.
we're in our manic phase.
This it is a manic depressive podcast,
Yeah.
admittedly.
Yeah,
But
which
that this is what I would love if I were one of five viewers on a show.
we
That would
got
be
we
my
okay.
ideal.
Do we need a like a K-pop Demon Hunters outro so that way we can get 200 views again like last time? Because clearly, how many like confused teenage girls like stumbled across our podcast just because the thumbnail was
We'll test
roomy or
it this
whatever?
week with Bib Fortuna, see how
Oh,
much worse it
if it
does.
catches the Star Wars, is Star Wars okay? But you need to specifically frame it as like the new movies are the worst thing to have ever happened, including the Holocaust, and
Could I
also
do
like,
two
and
minutes on that?
sexism should be
Maybe not that
legal.
last part, but the first part,
But that's the
because
algorithm. That's YouTube. I think like 90% of Star Wars YouTube context is
look at this
what's her
bullshit.
name needs to be executed without trial because that's what
Daisy Ridley and
happens.
Kelly Marie Tran.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try to appeal to a fan base that is 98% 40 something white guys who have never known the touch of a woman. And I will stand by that. I do not respect the Star Wars franchise or its fans.
That's more than fair. That's how Tony Gilroy made his bones was by not respecting
Yes,
the
actually, that's a great
franchise.
point. There's a
And then
reason
he was like, "Yeah, I'm not really a
the
fan."
only good Star Wars stuff is by two guys who do not actually respect Star Wars or the lore. That's an
It was
excellent
the
point.
Ryan Johnsons of the world who liked it too much and tried to had to undo it.
Never,
You know who's a big
never
Star
let
Wars
the
fan?
inmates run the asylum. Who?
JB Pritzker. weirdly enough.
Future president, big boy JB.
He might be. He might be the best of the bad options. It sucks.
Well, this
Such a
implies there
bad
are
world.
good options, and unless we're like resurrecting Stalin, who I do not support politically, but I also think America needs to suffer for 20 to 25 years. I think
Well,
that's where
that's
we're at.
already we're already there. So
Yeah, but it's the bad kind of suffering, not the deserved kind of suffering.
the
Nobody
deserved
who
suffering is Gavin Newsom for the next
eh,
20 years.
nobody who has it coming is suffering, is my point. So, and I'm going to leave it vague what that
And they
means.
never will.
Yeah. Okay.
We have three
Anyway,
minutes. Are there any basketball things we want to cover?
um,
I got my Rockets take out of my system. That was really what I wanted to go into.
yeah, we have a proof of concept for this season. Oh, sh we do. Shoot, I didn't look up the Buddhist hells before declaring where the Rockets would go.
Oh my God, yeah, this was what that concept was. That's way better.
Yeah. Well, we can do
Crap. Well, we
both. I
can
just need to
do that
think
too.
of how many hells are there?
I don't know. I don't know the
Hells. Oh,
part
wait.
of
Oh, here we go. We're right here. The hells for committers of physical crimes. I mean, that's definitely this is the designated realm for those who commit acts of violence with the clear intent of killing living beings. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
would say
think
the
that's the
Rockets,
Houston Rockets.
yeah, the Rockets
I think
under
that's
Ime
maybe the
Udoka are
Mavs.
definitely going to Sanjiva, and if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry. It has ground made of hot iron heated by an immense fire. Um, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
attempting to look them up, but this is the best I
As soon
have
as the being
so
experiences an
far.
unconsciousness like death, they are suddenly restored to full health as a cold wind revives them, and the attacks begin anew. That is basically Kevin Durant's career.
It's also
And
kind of
by
what
the
I'm saying is
attacks,
going to happen with the Fred VanVleet thing,
a
is
little
that
bit,
they're going to
yeah.
start anew.
Having other tortures experienced in this Naraka include having molten metal dropped upon them, being sliced into pieces, and suffering from the heat of the iron ground by the Hell Wardens. I'm just picturing everybody in the Buddhist hells looking like Adam Silver. He is definitely a Hell Warden.
Oh my God, yeah, the NBA
Okay,
is a
so
bardo.
we've
I
already
moved up the Rockets because of that description and because I remembered Steven Adams is on the team and
yeah, he's
probably a
cool.
decent little depth. Put
Yeah, if his
Adams and
knees hold up,
Sengun together.
he's had some injuries. Okay, I'm gonna all right, we will return with our Kino Slop grid, and also I will do some more studies on more studying on the Buddhist hell so I can effectively assign each team to a Buddhist hell.
Yeah, I
Because
do think we have to assign them all to a hell. And next week we will begin with the full-on preview because
yeah,
we're 1 month away.
I know, crazy. We're
I'm
finally gonna get
actually,
ball
oh,
back time.
we can do our cutoff because I was complaining about this during the vamp. How are we going to watch any of the games? Like Adam Silver does not want us to to be able to watch half these
I'm
teams.
praying I we can find a consistent streamer with whatever it
Yeah.
is dead.
I hate watching those online streams though, because they're always behind, and
I
my
know.
OCD makes me want to have the chat on or off, and
Ooh,
I
do
just
not
can't.
turn those chats on
I
ever.
know, but they're always there. And it bothers me seeing the little notifications pop up knowing I'm not reading them.
Hmm.
This podcast is like a journey into mental illness today.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But that's the best kind of podcast. That's how Chapo got big.
Yeah, that's the only. What are we gonna do? Talk about Turning Points USA? Like,
Ugh,
come
no,
on.
no.